While the Olympics are celebrated as a global festival of sport, bringing together the world's best athletes, there is a darker side that often goes unnoticed. In this video, we'll explore the dark side of the Olympics, including controversies, economic impacts, athlete exploitation, corruption, environmental damage, human rights issues, and hidden agendas that shadow the Olympic Games. To begin, let's delve into historical controversies and scandals that have tainted the Olympics. Doping has been a persistent issue, undermining the spirit of fair competition. The systematic doping of East German athletes in the 1970s and 1980s is a notable example. Athletes were subjected to mandatory doping regimens without their consent, leading to severe health problems later in life. More recently, the Russian doping scandal shocked the world. An elaborate state-sponsored program was uncovered involving tampered urine samples and a sophisticated cover-up operation during the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. These instances not only cheat the system but also betray the trust of fans and competitors, casting a long shadow over the integrity of the Games.
Doping movement and everyone around Julia says that that's the only way to succeed.
Political boycotts have also cast a shadow over the Games. The 1980 Moscow Olympics saw a significant boycott led by the United States in protest of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Neither the American people nor I will support sending an Olympic team to Moscow.
65 countries refused to participate, significantly reducing the number of competitors and dampening the event's spirit. In retaliation, the Soviet Union and its allies boycotted the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. This tit-for-tat response highlighted how international politics can disrupt the unifying mission of the Olympics, leaving athletes who have trained for years caught in the crossfire of global disputes. Hosting the Olympics is often seen as a prestigious honor, but it comes with a hefty price tag. Many host cities find themselves burdened with immense debt due to the cost of building infrastructure and facilities. For instance, the 2004 Athens Olympics left Greece with a debt that contributed significantly to its severe economic crisis. The event cost Greece approximately $11 billion, a staggering amount that the country struggled to repay, exacerbating its financial troubles. These financial burdens can cripple local economies for decades, diverting funds from essential public services and infrastructure that could benefit the community in the long term. Moreover, the construction of Olympic venues often leads to the displacement of local communities. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, thousands of people were evicted from their homes to make way for the 2016 Olympics, leading to protests and widespread criticism. Entire neighborhoods known as favelas were demolished, displacing residents without adequate compensation or relocation support. This displacement not only causes social upheaval but also leaves lasting scars on the affected communities, contributing to long-term resentment and social tension. The pressure on Olympic athletes is another major concern. Many face severe mental health challenges as they strive for perfection.
It's a really tough year. It's really hard.
The intense competition and high expectations can lead to anxiety, depression, and burnout. High-profile cases like those of gymnast Simone Biles and swimmer Michael Phelps have brought much-needed attention to these issues. Biles openly discussed her struggles with the twisties, a dangerous condition where gymnasts lose spatial awareness mid-air, while Phelps has been vocal about his battles with depression and suicidal thoughts.
When I didn't want to be alive anymore. I just thought it was the best thing to do, is just not to be here.
Despite this increased awareness, many athletes continue to suffer in silence, feeling immense pressure to perform at their best without adequate support. The question is whether this is how it should be. If you want to be the best, isn't it only fair to feel pressure and to be willing to endure it? What do you think? The Games are also somewhat unfairly conducted, as athletes from poorer countries face additional challenges. Despite dedicating their lives to their sport and representing their nations on the global stage, they often receive inadequate support and compensation. These athletes frequently lack access to proper training facilities, healthcare, and financial support, making their achievements all the more remarkable while highlighting the disparities within the Olympic movement. For example, Kenyan marathon runners often train under difficult conditions with limited resources, but still somehow achieve remarkable results, underscoring the imbalance in resource allocation. It's also time to shed light on the numerous allegations of corruption within the International Olympic Committee, IOC. Bribery scandals related to the bidding process for hosting the Games are not uncommon. For example, the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics were tainted by revelations of bribes and gifts given to IOC members to secure the bid. These bribes included scholarships for members' children and lavish vacations. This lack of transparency and accountability within the IOC raises serious concerns about the integrity of the Olympic bidding process and the governance of the Games themselves. As if that wasn't enough, environmental concerns further complicate the picture. The construction of Olympic venues often leads to deforestation, habitat destruction, and pollution. The 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics, for instance, caused substantial environmental damage, including the destruction of protected wetlands. In Rio de Janeiro, they promised to clean up the polluted Guanabara Bay before the 2016 Olympics went unfulfilled, leaving athletes to compete in contaminated waters. Many Olympic facilities are abandoned after the Games, left to decay and waste resources. These white elephants serve as a stark reminder of the environmental and financial cost of hosting the Olympics. Labor exploitation is another dark aspect of the Olympics. Workers, often migrants who built the Olympic infrastructure, work under poor conditions with little pay and safety. Reports from the construction sites of the 2022 Qatar World Cup, which also hosted some Olympic events, highlight the harsh working conditions and exploitation faced by these laborers. These workers often endure long hours in extreme conditions with minimal legal protection or remedies. Thousands of migrant workers have reportedly died due to unsafe working conditions, drawing international condemnation and calls for reform. Lastly, another major issue is awarding the Olympics to countries with poor human rights records, which raises significant ethical concerns. The 2008 Beijing Olympics and the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing have sparked debates about whether such countries should host the Games. These events are often used by the host countries as a platform to project a positive image, while underlying human rights abuses and political injustices are ignored or suppressed.
Big Winter Games, 6 ice hockey players.
In China, reports of surveillance, censorship, and the treatment of ethnic minorities have raised questions about the appropriateness of hosting the Games in such an environment. In conclusion, while the Olympics are a celebration of human achievement and international unity, it's essential to recognize and address the darker aspects that come with the Games. By understanding these issues, we can work towards a more transparent, ethical, and sustainable future for the Olympics. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. It sure was interesting. There are no limits to what life has to offer, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to share it all with you. If you have any idea for a topic of a future video, don't hesitate to let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, go explore!